Be encouraged, be inspired, be yourself, you will survive. Just know it, just breathe it, and be it, and live your best life.
Hi guys, welcome to the Sunday Talks program. I'm just going to see who is in the chat. We have Von D. Welcome. Welcome to the Sunday Talks program. Today is a little bit of a personal journey. It's I kind of hesitated. To do this talk show. So I think sometimes it's easy to ask others to do some sort of self-reflection and talk about themselves in a personal way. So today is going to be my personal journey. I called this my journey to love me. And for all of you who have been on a journey in your life, the things that you have been through, everybody has been through struggles, hurdles, burdens, things that you never thought that you could overcome, but you did anyways. Hey, Casey, welcome. How are you doing? And today is no different. Today I'm kind of going into an in-depth, personal, pretty private part of me where I am sharing some tough things. I kind of, like you kind of don't want to do it, but I know it was time. So, welcome, Casey, and welcome, Bondi, to the stream. If you guys could share it out, I'd appreciate that. So, I'm just going to start off by writing down, sharing some things that I wrote down. So, today's stream is about my personal, emotional, and spiritual reflection. um, I'm looking back and I want to share with you guys what I have been through in the hopes that it encourages somebody. It makes you feel like, she's been through a lot of things, but so have I. Just to give you some encouragement as a boost, really, because I want to show you guys about the transformation that I have been through. And I really have been through a transformation in my life. Um, so I'm just going to get started right away. Well, my journey to self-love, it started at the age of 2. Yeah, I know you may be saying, how could your journey of self-love start at age 2? But it really did. It started at 2. Um, I was 2 years old, living in Brooklyn, New York. I was sitting in the living room, me and my brother and my sister, and I was watching TV and eating some potato chips. I was eating potato chips with my brother. And at this time, my brother, I think he was 5 years old because he's 4 years older than me. So hold on. If I was 2, he was 6. So my brother was 6 years old. He gave me potato chips. I started eating the potato chips and I started to choke. My brother didn't know what was going on. I don't think back in those times they really knew about, choking hazards and certain things that you shouldn't give to children to eat. But anyways, I started choking on these chips. So my older sister went and told my dad, who was in his bedroom. So my dad comes out, and by this time I had passed out. I was blue in the face, and my dad panicked. He called my mom. I don't know where my mom was, but some type of way. Then my mom comes home, and my older sister stayed with my brother, and my mom and dad hopped into a taxi cab and made their way over to the hospital. My dad said that he gave the taxi cab driver, he's like, my daughter is limp. I don't know if she's alive or she's dead. But anyways, they drove really fast and got me to the hospital there in Brooklyn. I believe it was Downstate Medical Center at the time. So I'm there at the hospital. They bring me into the emergency room and they hand them over to the medical staff there. And the doors closed back. They couldn't even go back and see what was happening with me. So then my mom and dad sit in the waiting room and they wait. My dad said it felt like hours. For how long it took for them to clear my windpipe. So they're thinking that it's already too late because, like I said, I was already blue in the face. Then after that, the doctors come out, however long it took, and they told my parents they were able to clear my windpipe. I'm alive, and I'm in the back. I'm doing okay. So that was my first testimony of self-love because I almost died at 2 years old. And for some reason, I had a purpose. I believe that God protected me and put his Holy Spirit around me because my dad said I was blue in the face for, he has no idea how long. Right, Casey? I believe it was a miracle. I believe it was a miracle. And he saved my life and brought me back. And then my parents brought me home a few hours later after they finished running tests to make sure I was okay. So sharing that first experience of how I almost died when I was 2 from choking, I share that because at 2 years old, God had protected my life, and he knew that I had a purpose in being here. I had a purpose. So my second thing that happened to me when I was 7 years old, a big, major, traumatic thing that happened to me. When I was 7 years old, I was in my bathroom. When I was 7 years old, I was in the bathroom and a family member knocked on the door. So I opened it. They came in, closed the door behind it, and locked the door. 7 years old. I don't really know what they're doing. Oh, I should also say this was a male in my family. And they pulled down my underwear and they proceeded to molest me. At the time, I didn't know anything because, during those times, parents didn't inform anybody about, good touches, bad touches, what people should do, what they shouldn't do. But yeah, that family member molested me when I was 7 years old. And for a long time, I had so much hatred towards males, especially somebody, that I thought I could trust, especially somebody within the family. They molested me. So that caused me to go into the next big thing that happened to me in my life. When I was 8 years old, I failed the 3rd grade. So this was when I got molested. It was the summer of 2nd grade. And then school started. I should also say that my molestation, I never told a soul my whole life. I never told parents, siblings, anybody. I kept that deep within inside myself as a dark secret. So here comes the third thing that happened to me in my life. 3rd grade started. I was like completely taken aback from what happened to me over the summer, and then trying to pretend like everything was okay, but I was not okay. So 3rd grade passed. I didn't do well in school. I winded up failing the 3rd grade. Why I want to share that as a big step in my life, when I failed the 3rd grade, it was the first time in my life that I actually felt like a failure. I felt like it was something that happened to me because I wasn't good enough. I didn't do enough. I kind of was in the self-blame also about what happened to me over the summer. I was blaming myself. I was mad at the world. I was mad at men. I hated men. I couldn't stand my brothers. I think that was at the time where I started to fight. I used to fight my brothers all the time. Actually, if I want to keep it real, I hated my brothers because they were identified as males. I absolutely hated them. So that's what happened. I failed 3rd grade, and it was a time where I just was in a lot. I had a lot of anger. I fought a lot. I cussed a lot. I did everything wrong. I fought, especially I fought girls. I loved to fight the girls because I was like, you got something to say about me? Come and bring it. So I fought. The next major thing that happened to me when I was in 5th grade, I think I was 11 years old. I 5th grade. Yeah, 5th grade. My mom picked me up and we were coming from Kmart. I remember at the time it was Kmart. And she turned and we were involved in a major car accident. When everything happened, when I finally realized what was happening, um, like you just see things around you. Like I saw that I was in an accident. I saw my mother like limp and lifeless. I also saw the medical, like the ambulance was called at this time. They're taking me out on an ambulance. I really didn't know what was happening until I looked up, and you could see my mom's car was completely crushed. It stopped right before me. It was like the car was like a what would you call that? The car was like a, I can't think of the word, but the car was like completely smashed in the front, that it stopped right before it got to my legs and my mother's legs. It's like it stopped right there, just in front of that. So another time where my life was saved. The only thing that happened to me is my right knee, which till today I still suffer from some pain when the car hit us on the side, smashed in the whole side and the front of the vehicle. I hit my knee really hard, and till this day I still have pain and arthritis in my leg. But I shared this because another time where I was spared, I only really had a banged up knee, no real major damage. I was alive. I was alive another time. It was, what is that, the third time already in my life where I had been saved. And I went back to school, and it was like everybody was talking about it over the weekend. When I went back, they were like, "You were on the news," which I didn't know. They said I was on the news. The accident was on the news. If I'm okay, blah blah blah. So that's what happened to me. Another time where I was saved from a major thing in my life. Also, my mother. She was saved also, but it more so was me, because the car hit me on the passenger side, and it completely destroyed the side and the front of my mom's car. Um, then the next thing that happened to me when I was 13 years old, I think you're in seventh grade, I believe so. I got into a major fight, guys. When I say it was major, I mean I was like put up or shut up. Like, come and bring it, and I'm gonna solve it. That's how I was. All the time I was bullied, because all those who don't know, I come from a big family. I have 9 siblings. I'm sibling number 10. And I was bullied because my parents didn't always have the money to get me name brand clothes and shoes. So I guess you could say I had Bobo sneakers. I never had name brand sneakers. I never had name brand clothes, purses, or a lot of things that other kids had. But one thing I did have is that my parents always made sure I had food and a roof over my head. So I was bullied because of my looks. So that's when I started to get the inferiority complexes, where I thought I was ugly, because if other people were perceiving me to be a person who was not, good looking, I had a really big gap in the front of my teeth. And I was bullied for that, because I had gap teeth, because I was scrawny. I was a little scrawny kid, because I always spoke properly. I wasn't, using slang and things like that. I was bullied for that. But I got into a lot of fights, and I did a lot of things that I guess you could say was not good. I used to fight. I didn't do my homework. I was still mad at the world for things that had happened to me years earlier. And that brings it into my first year of high school. So I think my first year of high school, I was 14. I think so. High school of 14. Yeah. So when I was going to school, and I was like, there's a lot of things in my life outside of this. I don't want to share everything about my life, but outside of this, other things was happening in my family life that was not very good. I guess you could say a little bit of a dysfunctional family that I had. I I started to think about, I can't control the things that are at home, but I can control what I do. So part of my message to myself, everybody was always saying how good I looked, for slim wise, like my weight wise. And I was like, huh. So if I look good, slim, I would look even better if I was slimmer. So I just started to eat less and less. And at the time, I did not know that I was becoming an anorexic. I had a really bad eating disorder. When I got to my lowest weight, when I was 14 years old, I was 70 pounds. So thinking about that, my height and everything, at the time I should have been like maybe 115, 120 pounds. I was 70 pounds when I was at my lowest weight. So I was literally starving myself. I was still fighting in school. I was mad with the world. I did everything in school. I walked out of class. I skipped school. I think at the time I also started drinking. I started drinking whatever I could find that my parents had in their little cabinet, their little wine cabinet. I drank it all up, and it was not good. So I didn't realize until I went to therapy. I was like, oh, I had two things going on. I was drinking and I had anorexia. So another time in my life where I was going through a really deep, dark period of time. I was in a really low emotional, mental, physical, every part of me was not in a good mental state. Like I actually hated myself. I hated my life. I hated all the people in my life. I was mad at the world. I was mad at God. I was like, why is my life this way? I was really upset with everybody and everything that could happen to me. So I just continued to keep not eating, to keep drinking, because I found that when I drank, I was kind of numb to the pain, like it numbed the pain. So, yeah, and that's what happened to me. I started to drink, and that led to my next thing when I was 15, because I didn't have one friend in the whole world here on earth. I had no friends. And I said, if nobody even notices my weight, nobody even knows what's going on with me, nobody knows how miserable I am, nobody even cares about me. I remember I got one of those, what do you call it? Those utility knives, and the blade comes out. And so I took that utility blade, I pulled it all the way up. Oh, I failed to mention I was at school. I went to the bathroom in school. I went to my locker. I got my utility knife out in my backpack, and I decided I was going to kill myself that day. So I went and I got that utility knife out my backpack. I opened it up. I pulled the blade all the way out. I closed the door to the bathroom. They used to have the single bathrooms that you could lock the door. So I went in there, I closed the door, and I took it and I put that utility knife right up to my neck, about to slit my throat and kill myself. And right when I was about to cut my neck and kill myself, somebody banged on the door. Banged on the door. And I was like, what? Somebody's in here. They were like, I need to go to the bathroom. I was like, go to another bathroom. I'm busy in here, because they don't even know I had a knife right to my throat, trying to slit my throat. And they were like, no, there's no other bathrooms available. You need to come out, because I got to go to the bathroom. So I was like, oh my God. So I winded up not doing, committing suicide. I put the knife back in my backpack, opened the door, and that person doesn't even know that they saved my life. They don't even know. I never even shared it with anybody in my family. I didn't share with anybody, no teacher, nobody. I just put that utility knife back in my backpack and went to my locker, put that utility knife back in my locker and closed it and went back to class. All this time not knowing that that was not good, that was not normal. Trying to commit suicide, having an eating disorder, drinking. So, yeah. Then, yeah, Fonzie, wow. Wow is right. Wow is right. So I thought my life was normal. I thought it was something normal, to, starve yourself, to drink all the time on the weekend when my parents would be at work, to, do self-harming things to yourself. Yeah, it wasn't. So then it gets to the point of, I think I was 17. I think I was 17 years old. So I'm walking home from high school. My high school was like 2 or 3 blocks from my house. So I'm walking home from school on the sidewalk, and I'm not paying attention, because for those of you who are old enough know about Walkman. I had my Walkman with my cassette tape. I had my headphones on, and I'm bopping to the music, listening to it. I don't know anything that's happening. So some kind of way I stumble, and over my shoelaces, not paying attention. I didn't even know I had almost stepped into the street, or I did step into the street. I don't know. So not paying attention. And when I went to bend down, I was in the street. Hey, Vernell, welcome. I was in the street, bent down, and a car, and I say a car, almost hit me. I had to jump back onto the pavement. Yeah. So that shook me up pretty bad. I couldn't even go home. I remember sitting down on the little curb that they had by my school and crying, because I almost died. That person, they stopped, they asked me if I was okay, and I was like, yeah, even though I wasn't. But yeah, I was like, okay. So the car was like this close to me, almost hit me, and I moved out of the way just in time for, to avoid being hit by a car. So another time that I was saved, how many times are we up to now, guys? 4 times, 5 times where I was saved, where God saved my life and the angels acted in my behalf. So yeah, I was shook for a long time from that. So when I finally composed myself, got myself together, and walked home, I think that's one of the only times when I got home, I called my dad at work, and I told him that I almost was hit by a car and all that stuff. And he was like, are you okay? And I was like, yeah, even though I was. See, that's the thing that I used to do when I was younger. I used to always pretend that I was okay when I wasn't. And I don't know who's like that in their life. I don't know who this message is for, but I'm told to say, don't say you are okay when you're not. Sometimes you just have a period of time in your life where you're not okay. You're not okay, and you need to talk to somebody about it. You need to deal with whatever it is that you're struggling with. Don't say you're okay when you're not, because it has a way of doing some self-harming things, or you're going to do some self-harming things to yourself, or it's going to affect your health or something. But you need to deal with it, talk about it. It's okay to not be okay. And I think that shook me up for a long time, you know, even though all the other things that happened to me, I don't know why that one right there, when I almost got hit by a car, it affected me for like 2 or 3 years. And now that when I looked at it, when I started going to therapy, my therapist said it was like a PTSD. Like for years, I had, when most kids were learning to drive a car, I would not drive a car. And I still have some issues with that, with driving, because of that, because I always feel like you can hit somebody, you could kill somebody, that I almost got killed. I had flashbacks in my sleep, like nightmares. I would wake up with night sweats for a long time. And my mom and my dad had to actually go to the doctor and get me medicine so that I could sleep through the night, because I almost failed. What grade was I? 11th grade because of it. I didn't want to leave the house. I was afraid to leave the house, scared, because I thought it was going to happen to me again, because, I used to walk to school because my parents would go to work 7 to 3. Hey, Tales of Tea, welcome. Because my parents used to work the 7 to 3 shift, sometimes 3 to 11. So they weren't available to take me to school. So I was terrified to go to school. So that's the reason why I started skipping school again and not doing my homework. It was like it all cycled back again in my life. Like, okay, I wasn't realizing that I was saved for a purpose, that I was protected, that I had a reason to be here. I didn't understand all of those things. All I could think about was, I almost got killed. How many times? And why is this happening to me? Kind of like the why me syndrome. I always felt sorry for myself. And because I didn't have a very good family dynamic at home, kind of like everybody in the family, don't get me wrong. I love my family, but it's kind of a period of time where everybody was kind of in their own world. Everybody has their own issues. Let's keep it real. Everybody was going through their own situations at the time. My sister had just had, had her first baby. So my mom and my dad was so busy and consumed in taking care of their grandchild that I kind of was, I wouldn't say I was neglected, but I kind of feel like I wasn't really paid attention to. Like I was crying out for help, but nobody was seeing me because, I'm the 10th child. At this time, my parents were tired. They were getting up in age. And I feel like they had their plate full enough. So I think if I had probably told my parents some of the things that I was going through, maybe they would have listened. I don't know. But I felt like they were too busy working, taking care of grandkids, providing, paying bills, that I felt like, who am I? I don't want to add more problems and burdens to my parents. So, but I was doing really bad when I was 17. I had the eating disorder. I was drinking all the time. I had the PTSD. Um, so it wasn't a good period of time for me. For me, but some type of way I pushed through it. And on prayers, I was able to graduate high school and I started college. Now, meanwhile, in college, I found my first boyfriend, right? Found my first boyfriend. Thought, oh my God, like, being the dumb, naive, I think I was 18 years old, dumb and naive, 18 years old, talking to this guy. Oh, and I have to say, he was also very much older than me. So, going, sneaking out, hanging out with the boyfriend, and, you know, he was a manipulator. He was a manipulator. He manipulated my mind, and told me to do things, like lie to my parents, um, lie to my siblings, skip school. It wasn't a long relationship. It didn't last, but I think it was when he hit me. I had my fur, but that was my, I was my first. That was my only, yeah, that was my only time. So we were supposed to go somewhere. He picked me up in the car and he told me to be ready when he got there. So when he picked me up, and he was upset that I took so long to get ready and whatever, that when I got in the car, he started to shake me, yell at me, say that it was my fault for all the things that had happened, and he hit me. And I remember all thinking to myself, like, is this really happening to me? How, like, you see, it's happening to you, but it's like you're stepping outside of yourself and saying, is this really happening to me? Like, really? I always said that's something that would never happen to me. So yeah, I was just like up the street from my house, and I flung the door open, ran out. He started to back up, tell me he was sorry, all that stuff, that I just make him mad and all kinds of things. So yeah, I stayed away from him. I never talked to him again, but he kept calling the phone. He showed up at the house. He showed up at my no, college. I was in college at this time. Yeah, he showed up at college. He was basically stalking me. So that was the next thing that happened to me. He started showing up at school. He was writing me letters. Then it escalated to the point where I better talk to him or else. I started to get threatened. Okay. I started to get threatened, and he said he was going to kill me if I didn't talk to him. So I stayed away from him. I would see him, and I think it lasted like 6 or 7 months. February. Yeah, it started like this summer all the way until like July. So 6 or 7 months where, after he hit me and I didn't want to see him anymore. And then he started showing up at the college, trying to find me, trying to call the phone, because I think at this time it was beepers. I think so. So I think it was beepers. So he kept beeping me. Best life, do you have love in your life now or no? Well, what does that mean for now? Do you have love in your life? I don't know what that means. Um, so I had to ignore him. Basically, he was showed up everywhere. He showed up at the library. He found out what classes I would take. He would show up in front of my classes. It was a really scary period of time where I was like afraid for my life. And at this time, I used to take the bus and stuff to school. So, like, he would show up and he was like, this is stupid. He would show up at the bus stop and he wanted me to get in his car. And he said he would take me home to forgive him, that I just make him upset because I do things to make him upset. And that's why he hit me. So, and that was when I was 19. So after that, I kind of started to enjoy my life. So this is the good part of my life. Like when I was really enjoying life, like I went on my first trip, I went back to New York. I saw my sister, who we were kind of, because I'm the youngest, she was already out of the house when I was born. Do you have someone you're talking to now? Oh yeah, I have a therapist for now. So so I started to have the good period in my life, like when I started to do things that I enjoy, you know. I started to travel. I started to do my hair. I started to have fun and start to enjoy life. I wish at the time period I had a therapist. I didn't know about therapy. For all of you guys who don't know, when you come from a Caribbean family, it's kind of taught that you kind of dismiss that stuff, like deal with your own problems. You don't talk to other people, you don't tell other people your business. It's like you always are taught to like kind of push down your feelings, not talk about it, kind of like downgrade it, that it's not really as bad as you think it is, you know. um when sometimes that it really is, sometimes it's really as bad as it was, sometimes worse than what you thought. So I want to encourage anybody who's watching this now or watching in the replay, that if you are going through a hard period of time, don't feel like you have to struggle with your problems all alone. Talk to somebody, talk to a therapist, talk to somebody that you can trust. Pray about it, meditate. I journal as well too, but it's important to also spend time in your self love. Do some things that you enjoy, get a hobby, write in a journal, meditate, pray, talk to people, have some fun. And that's what I started doing. I started spending time on me. I'm thinking about myself. Instead of thinking about my problems, which I think that's what it was, I was consuming myself in the problems. That is like, this happened, and then this would happen, this would happen, and this would happen. So I never got over any of my other issues before here comes another problem. So I would recommend that to you guys, those who aren't journaling, start writing down things, write a letter to, you know, whoever hurt you. It just getting it out of your system, that is so important to get your pain out. Yeah, get your pain out. I think that's something that I really learned, to get the pain out, that you don't have to keep suffering. You don't have to keep suffering. I feel like suffering is a choice. After a while, yes, things happen to you, but then you have to take responsibility for what you did. Um, Also, focus on how you can heal the wounds in your own self, the own wounds that you have in your heart, and don't let it consume you and take you over. That you are not your situation. After, you know, just those things, up until I was 19 years old, those I was allowing those situations to consume me. I was letting people get under my skin. I was being a victim instead of taking my power back, which I believe each and every one of us has power. Each and every one of us has the power to change our life, you know. We have the power to change our life and not be a victim of our circumstances, but to use our circumstances to teach others, to let other people, I went through this too, and I'm still here. I feel that's so important to share your testimony when you go through things. Help somebody else who is going through it right now or is about to go through it. I know sometimes we may not want to share everything. We may not want to share everything that we have in our life. Well, I did it. I don't think I started to share things that was going on with me until I saw a therapist after my parents passed away. That's when I decided, that's when all of those issues started bubbling back up again, coming to the surface. So don't let things just keep happening and keep happening, and then you keep putting another band-aid or downplaying it, or or becoming a victim or getting mad at people who have nothing to do with your situation. Don't take out your pain and frustration on other people who really love and care about you. And I feel like that's what I was doing. I was taking out my pain on people who had nothing to do with it. I was angry with them. I was angry with my life situation. I was angry with the things that happened to me. So don't be a victim. Take your power back. Use your situation to teach somebody, to encourage somebody else. You're not a victim, You can be a victim if you choose to be, or you can use your situation to teach, to heal, to encourage, to motivate, to be positive. That I can say for myself, I can only speak for myself through my life, the situation, the things that happened to me, that I'm not a victim. I'm not the only person that this has happened to. Things like I have been through has happened to many other people, but you can use your experience to shine your light, to let other people know that you can get through situations, you can get through it. And I want to let you guys know that I got through it. I got through it on the other side. I am not a victim, I am loved. I'm loved in myself. And I want you guys to know that too. When you stand up, when you show up each and every day, you have the power to choose what you're going to think about yourself, what you're going to think about your life, what you're going to think about your situation. Either you can play the role of a victim, or you can be a person who takes their power back, that chooses to shine their light, that chooses to believe the best in themselves and other people. You can choose to make lemonade out of your situation, or you can see it as lemons. It's all up to us, the way that we think, the things that we do. How are you going to be angry for your whole life? Are you going to be bitter? Hey, BN runners, Eric and Shonda, welcome. How are you? Yeah, I battled and I made it through. You're right, Vonzi. You're right. You're really right. I think for a long time, I felt like I couldn't make it through. And I do know right now that that was a choice. I wanted to feel sorry for myself. I wanted to be a victim, People that's on here, to open up to your parents before they leave this world, because when they leave, you can ask the questions you want. Yeah, you're right, Vernell. And that's another thing that I would say too. I think a lot of times when I had my parents, don't get me wrong, I didn't have perfect parents, but I had good parents. I had parents that that did the best that they could. My parents, they had 10 children. They never left me to take care of somebody else. They didn't leave me for somebody else to take care of. I never went to daycare. I don't know how my parents did it. They took care of 10 children and they did it well. And but the only thing that I would say is that from one generation to the next generation, no matter what you went through in your childhood, no matter what your parents did, no matter what happened to you in your life, you're here today. Use your life today, right here, right now, to boost somebody else, to encourage somebody else. Whether you know it or not, the words that you choose to use, it can either have a positive or a negative message. You can be an encourager or a discourager. It's your choice. And I chose to use my situation, the things that I've been through in my life. I chose to use that now and bring it to my platform here on YouTube to encourage other people, to let other people know, you're not alone. And I feel like when I was going through that situation, I did feel alone. I did feel alone because I needed to talk to somebody. I needed to let out my pain and my anger, being mad at the world. I needed to release that. And I want you guys to know it's okay to be mad. Be mad, be angry, but get it out. Don't let it become toxic inside of you. Let that pain, use your pain and turn it around. Use your pain to teach somebody, use your pain to encourage somebody, and in that way you take your power back. I chose to take my power back. I chose to shine my light. I hope and I pray all the time that I can encourage one person, even if I only encourage one person in life, that you don't have to commit suicide. You can get through being a victim of sexual abuse. You can get through domestic violence. You can get through having an eating disorder. You can get through the times where you almost died. But you got to use that. You're here for a purpose. If nobody has told you that today, you're here because you have a purpose. But it's up to us to choose to use our purpose and our talents in a good way. It's up to us to use our power, our light in a good way. You can do that. Believe in yourself. And I think for a long time, I did not realize that I had the power inside of myself. I had the power. And I think sometimes that maybe your light may be dim, when you're going through hard times, rough times, times where you don't have money, times where you don't love yourself, times where you're fighting with family members, you don't have the means, things aren't going the way that you want it to go, You are not your circumstance. You have the ability to turn things around. But you have to speak those things into existence. You have to have those positive affirmations. You have to walk in the light to become a light source. You can't always be in the darkness. You can't always keep putting yourself down, telling yourself that you won't and you can't do things. You got to elevate yourself. You got to elevate your mind and your body and your spirit. And everything else will follow. But you got to have that here in your mind. The mind is going to follow what you think about yourself. If you keep telling yourself that you're successful, if you keep telling yourself that you're amazing, that you're a positive person, that you can overcome anything, that you're not a victim, but you're an overcomer, you're an achiever, you're courageous. Those are the things that you got to keep telling yourself, because you got to encourage yourself. Trust me. No matter how bad your situation is in your life, no matter what the things that you have gone through in your life, you are able and you're worthy. You are able and you're worthy, even if you don't feel like it. But you got to keep telling yourself that until you believe it. Tell yourself until you believe it. I am courageous. I am amazing. I have talent. I have the ability. I am worthy. I am wonderfully made. I am an achiever. I am positive. I can do anything. I am amazing. Got to keep feeding and nourishing your mind, your body, and your spirit. Keep encouraging yourself. Keep motivating yourself. Keep believing yourself. And that's what I had to do. You have to keep running, and keep telling yourself until you believe it. Thank you, Vondi. You got to keep telling yourself until you believe it. Tell yourself until you believe it, you know. Sometimes you may not believe it. You have to rewire the network of your mind. Not everybody is made to be a positive person, but you can do it. You got to keep telling yourself of all the good things. Tell yourself the good things about yourself. So, I'm hardworking. I'm smart. I have the ability. I can get through anything that is hard now, but things are going to change. I'm about to get to my breakthrough. I'm right on the verge. I'm almost there. Keep telling yourself, keep telling your mind, keep believing yourself. It's so important to tell yourself that because everything else will follow. Don't put yourself in that dark spot. Don't put yourself in that dark spot because where the darkness and the negativity, that's who you're going to become. And keep elevating your mind. Keep elevating because we are people of light, people who are successful, people who can do anything that they set their mind to. Even if you're told that, you're too old, you're too this, we're always in this life told we're too something. You're too this color, you're a woman, you're this, you're a guy, you don't have this, and you're too short, you're always too something in this world. But you are enough. And that's something that I learned through all my situations. I am enough, and you are enough as well. You are enough. When you stand up, when you come to the table, whatever you're bringing, you're enough. And don't let anybody tell you you're not. You're enough. You're able, willing, worthy of everything. And you walk in that. Walk in that. Walk with your head up. Believe in yourself. Even if nobody else tells you that you're not enough, tell yourself. And I repeat that to myself every single day. I am enough. I am enough. I love me. I am worthy. I am strong. I am positive. I am courageous. I'm a dreamer. I set goals. I accomplish them because I deserve it. That's another thing you got to tell yourself, guys. You deserve it. I deserve it. What is Fernell saying here? You can sit in it, but don't stay there. You have to put action behind your circumstance and be the voice of it. God brought you to get through with God's guidance. That's right, Fernell. And I think sometimes when you're going through a hard time, a hard situation in your life, you just feel down. You just feel beat up. Sometimes, you go through situations in your life where you just keep getting beat down and slapped and kicked and everything. And you just feel like it's so many hurdles and burdens and hills and valleys. And you wonder, when is my life going to change? But your life is going to change when you have the mind shift. Your circumstances may not change, but your mind can. It is so powerful how changing your mind shift is going to change your circumstances. If you keep looking at the things that you have, look at what you have. Look at what you've gone through, what you've endured, who you are today, what you've overcome. Sometimes take time and stand in that. Stand in your truth and say, I have overcome. I thought I wasn't going to get through that situation, and I did, and I am. Keep enduring. Keep enduring, keep being courageous, keep being strong, keep believing in yourself. Remember that you're a source of light. You are a source of light. You're amazing and you can endure anything. And I'm proud of each and every one of you. Um, that's just the first part of what I want to share. I'm going to share more in details a little bit later. I have a few story times that will be coming up on my channel, where I'm going to go more in depth into some things that happened to me in my life. But that's what I wanted to share with you guys, to keep enduring, keep enduring, keep your head up, no matter what anybody says. I feel like sometimes it's so amazing how when you're down, when things are against you, people, you feel like you look around and you're alone, like who is here for me? You feel alone in this life, but trust me, you have everything that you need to get through your situation. You may not feel like it, but you have enough strength, you have enough value, you have enough worth, strength, ability, mental power. The mental power is so strong, guys. You have the mental power and ability to overcome anything because you're strong and you're powerful enough. So project that into the atmosphere. Project your light and say, I rebuke everything that is negative. I don't want it around me. Dismiss it. Stay away from me. Anybody who's negative, keep them away. Keep them away. Don't even talk to them. Surround yourself with a positive energy, and that's what you're going to keep attracting. People are attracted to the light source. You're a source of light, so keep radiating, keep vibrating the high vibes, keep going and be strong. I believe in you guys, I've been through some tough circumstances, but I'm still here. And I hope that I will be here longer to keep encouraging others, to keep motivating, to be a source of positivity. And especially, I want to shout out to my young girls, the young girls who are in a situation where right now you feel like you don't want to endure it because it's too much. Your situation at home, the way kids treat you, you don't feel like you're beautiful enough. You don't feel like you're strong enough. Trust me, you are. Even if other people don't see your beauty and your light, continue to be yourself. Continue to be yourself. Other people don't have to see, your light. Hey, Boss Life Online. Other people don't have to see your light for it to shine. Other people don't have to see it. It doesn't matter what other people do and say. All of that is irrelevant. It's irrelevant. It doesn't matter what other people do and what other people say. But you're here. You're here another day. And keep walking in that. Keep walking in that. And other people will follow. I think sometimes we expect people to fill in what we lack. We expect people to be there to support us. We expect people to kind of read our minds, and people can't read our minds. Nobody can read your mind. Nobody can know what you're going through. Nobody can know what you're enduring. Nobody can know your circumstance. You have to talk to people that you can trust. You have to keep encouraging and motivating your own mind, because at the end of the day, when you show up, you have to be there for you before you can be there for somebody else. Because you can't be a good, whoever you are in your life, you can't be a good mom or brother or auntie, cousin, dad, uncle, friend, coworker. You can't be the best for others if you're not showing up and being the best for you. So you got to be there for yourself first. You have to deal with your own issues. You got to talk to somebody. You got to release it in some way. Journal it out, pray it out, meditate it out, spend time by yourself, practice some self-love, take care of your skin, take a nice bath, or read a book, go somewhere, travel, have a vacation. Do something to boost your mind and your spirit. Do things that make you feel good about you. And when you feel good on the outside, the inside feels good as well. And that comes to what you're eating, all of those things. So that's what I wanted to share with you guys. I hope you guys have enjoyed this stream. Thanks for listening to me while I spill my guts today, and share some private parts of my life. Yeah, yeah, they're private, yeah, they're personal, but I'm here for a purpose, and so are you. You're here for a purpose. You have something to do and to be. Keep walking in that. Even if nobody else is encouraging you to walk in your path, walk in your light, walk in your talent, and to be who you are, trust me, I'm standing here. I'm sitting here right now telling you from experience, even though you've been through struggles in your life, even though you've, right, for now, use your discernment in everything you do. Good advice for now. No matter what you've been through, no matter what you've been through, no matter what situation you've been through, you've come through on the other side. You've made it. Remind yourself of that. Encourage yourself for that. That's what will help you to keep going. You have endured. You've been through some tough situations and you're still here. You are still here. Encourage yourself in that. Say, I thought I wasn't going to get through that situation, I thought I wasn't going to make it. You're not a victim. You're an overcomer. You're an achiever. You're amazing, Don't let anybody tell you any different. Yes, Boss Life Online, we made it. And that's what helps me to get through so many hard times when I look back on the things that I've gotten through. When I look back on that, how many times did I share? And that's just the things that I shared with. There's more things. How many times was I supposed to die? How many times was I supposed to not be here? How many times, how many times was I down? How many times was I in a deep, dark pit that I didn't want to be here anymore? But I have a purpose, and so do you. I have a purpose. You have a purpose. But you have to realize your talents. You have to realize your abilities. And you got to walk in that. And you got to believe in that. Believe in it. Walk in it. Shine your light. Don't be a victim. Be courageous and strong because you can do it. You can do it because you're worth it. You have to remind yourself each and every day, I am worth it. I am worthy. I am able. I am courageous. I am strong. I am mighty. I am powerful. I can do anything that I want. But it's up to me. It's up to you. Don't be a victim, guys. Don't be a victim. So that's what I wanted to share with everybody. I hope you've enjoyed the stream. I'm not going to keep you guys here much longer. I appreciated all the comments. Thanks to everybody who is in the chat, and for those who watch on the replay, thank you so much for watching. Let me know down in the comment section what you have overcome. I love to hear the stories of those who have overcome, and you're still here. I am proud of you. I'm proud of each and every one of you. And I feel like there's not enough people out there who will tell you that. I'm proud of you for what you've endured. I'm proud of you that you're keeping yourself encouraged. I'm proud of you that you're continuing to be motivated. Continue to be motivated, guys. I believe in you. Keep believing in you. Keep your head up. Keep your head all the way up. You know, I don't believe in the sky is the limit because that's not far enough for me. All the way up, all the way up. Keep enduring. Keep shining your light. Keep believing in you. Keep loving you because you're worth it. You are worth it. So thank you to everybody. Thanks, Bondi. You're welcome, Boss Life Online. And what does Vernell say? Remember, a winner never quits and a quitter never wins, because the quitter won't know the outcome because they stop going for it. Oh, that's good, Vernell. I like that. I like that. So I appreciate everybody who was here in the chat. Thanks for those who supported me. Watch, if you guys could share it out on your social media, I'd appreciate that so much, because I know this message is not just for me opening up my mind and my heart and my spirit. Will encourage somebody else, and that's just what I want to do. That's what I use my platform for. So I hope you guys will keep enjoying it. And tomorrow will be the dose of positivity that will be uploaded. And I also have a story time coming this week that I'm going to open up and share another personal thing about myself, because you guys know I am an open book. I like to share and encourage others. So thanks everybody who was here. Keep encouraged, guys. Keep your head up. You know, keep your head all the way up. You're not done yet. And I will see you guys on the next stream, which will be next Sunday, 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And also check out my other videos if you have not done so already. Thanks, everybody. Have a great Sunday.
Be encouraged, be inspired, be yourself, you will survive. Just know